one of the questions I was going to ask you if this was a must win or a can't lose.
I mean, no matter how you look at it, you better be 1-2 at the end of this thing. It's a must win. It's a can't lose. It's a clear eyes, full heart. Can't lose. You name it. Okay. Like whatever. If Coach Taylor's got to get involved,
True.
I mean, hell, maybe Riggins is a better running back than anybody on the team currently.
100%. It's that football show here on KC Sports Network. Tucker Franklin hanging out with Matt Verderame for your Friday edition of that football show. Thank you to our partners, Ben Holiday, Bottled and Bond Bourbon, and Holiday Distillery. Hopefully you will not need that much Ben Holiday Bottled and Bond Bourbon, or if you do need that much, it's for celebration for the Chiefs' first win of the season, as they will be on Sunday Night Football, taking on the New York Football Giants. Their first time in the Meadowlands in quite a while to play the Giants. And I don't think they've won there in a hot minute, Matt. So matchup on Sunday Night Football. I'll look that up real quick. I probably hand up. That one's on me. Bad podcasting, not looking that up ahead of time. But it's been a minute since the Chiefs, I feel like, have played the Giants in New York.
I can tell you when it was. It was 2017.
Is that when they had like the really awful, like they had an awful game against them? Yeah.
Yeah. So the last time they won. So, okay. They've been on the road. 2017, they lost to them 12-9 in a game that set the sport back a century. The time before that was in 2005. I was at that game. They lost 27-17. The time before that was 1998. They lost 28-7. I was also at that game.
The Chiefs have a 4-11 record against the Giants.
Yeah, they never beat them. The last time, to my knowledge here, the Chiefs beat them was 1992 in New York.
In New York, yeah.
In New York. Yeah, in New York. I mean, they beat them. They beat them in 2021.
Right, yeah.
It's the only time Mahomes ever started. That was on a Monday night, actually, at Arrowhead. Mm-hmm. Yeah, in New York in 1992.
It's insane that the Giants have it's 11-4. Like, I know that these two teams don't play each other a whole lot.
Not 1992. They lost that game too. I'm sorry. I read that. I read that like backward.
Oh,
they've never beaten them at the Meadowlands.
Okay, well, that's a plot twist.
Never beaten them there. Yep, they've never beaten them there. I read that wrong. I read that.
Yeah, they haven't. Wow, I'm looking at the football database right now. Is what I got.
That's home. Yeah. So that's not great. Look, yeah, hopefully you don't need like, this size of bourbon, just, neat.
Let's hope not, because
if you lose, you're going to need that amount of bourbon.
Because then, so then, like, if you extrapolate it out, they lose this week, then they got the Ravens coming to town. Boy, howdy.
Look, let's also just we can just leave the show off here with playing a hit there or two. Like, let's just be honest. The Giants are awful.
Yeah.
If they lose to the Giants, there's really there's more going on than just Rasheed Rice isn't there. Like, the Eagles game. Hey, look, that came down to Kelsey dropping the pass.
Yeah,
play here or play there. The Chargers game, they were basically playing coma ball for half the game. Like, that's why and the Chargers are good. It's not like they lost to a horrific team.
Yeah, for sure.
The Giants have Malik Neighbors and a really good defensive line, and that is it.
Right.
That is it. Okay? Like, the idea that, they should be in a dogfight in this game. Now, look, I'm not saying because of the way the offense looks, I'm not saying I think the Chiefs should blow this team out. But I got to be honest with you. Like, defensively, the Chiefs shouldn't give up more than 13 points in this game.
Oh, no.
There is no excuse. And I know the Giants just hung 37 on Dallas. I get it. Well, if the Chiefs give up 450 passing yards to Russell Wilson, I mean, we've got real problems to talk about. All right. The Commanders, who are not good defensively, held the Giants to 6 points in week 1.
Right.
I think that's probably more what the Giants are, offensively speaking. Okay. Like, this is not a team that scares you offensively. I mean, if you go and look at that box score against Washington, Darius Slayton, 0 catches.
Mm-hmm.
Wandell Robinson, 6 for 55. Like, nobody else did anything. Those are the only receivers or neighbors who were even targeted. Okay? Like, now the Cowboys game was a different deal because the Cowboys got involved. And Robinson and neighbors went crazy.
Yeah.
But even after, like, again, but nobody else caught a pass other than Slayton had 2 catches. Like, this is not an offense that the Chiefs should be like, how do we deal with this? Like, their offensive line is not good, especially on the interior. They don't run the ball particularly well. I mean, this is just, look, this is not a team the Chiefs should be like, what? How do we get off the field here? Like, and offensively speaking, and I know this is a big if the Chiefs can block, you're not exactly going against the Legion of Boom in the secondary. Like,
right.
Come on, man. I don't care that they don't have Rice. They're probably going to have Worthy. Like, Worthy and whatever the hell's left of Kelsey and, like, the other guy, Marquise Brown, that should be more than enough in this game. That should be more than enough. But, that leads into questions about, like, will they ever change their scheme so it helps them to block? Will they ever run the ball? Does Andy have the first game ever where a team doesn't even attempt to run?
Well, look, he was talking about going under center at the pressers. Like, that's what did you think about that? Where he was just like, oh, yeah, we've been working on going under center. Like, I don't know if, like, Andy's going to give away state secrets in a press conference. Actually, I know he's not going to. No. But, like, why would he say that? Maybe I'm trying to big brain it too much here, Matt, of being like, he said this because he wants them to think this, and then because of that. Maybe it's just they actually are working under center, but, like, why would he say that at the podium?
I think because they're feeling a little bit of heat, quite honestly.
Yeah. Andy said, I see what you guys see, is what he said at his presser. And I was like, whoa, okay, yeah.
Which is interesting. So somebody should have followed up, like, do you see Juwan Taylor? Somebody should have followed up. You see 74 taking flags like he's wearing a yellow uniform? Because I do. No, like, I mean, I just think if you're the Chiefs in this game, you have to approach it offensively with the mentality of, look, if we block them, we should score points. I mean, there is just no other way. Dallas lit them up like a Christmas tree.
Yeah.
And again, like, Washington only scored 21. Washington moved the ball relentlessly in that game and stopped themselves a few times. It's not a good defense. And by the way, Washington doesn't exactly have an unbelievable offensive line. Like, the Chiefs should be able to move the ball. And this is a game like, look, man, get the screen game going.
Yeah.
The ball out quick. Get some yards. This is a game I'm not going to kill them if Mahomes isn't throwing the ball 50 yards in the air down the field. Like, get the ball out quick. Make some play. Like, allow guys, like, Royals plays. He's got 4.4 speed. Like, let him use it. Get him some packages in this game. Let Worthy eat. Like, this game is not about being pretty. This game's about winning. Because if you win this game and you're 1-2, I know it's still 1-2 and nobody's ultra excited about being 1-2. But then you go home and play Baltimore in a game that if you win that game, you're ahead of them in the standings. No matter what they do on Monday night against Detroit, you're ahead of them. And, like, look at the division. Denver looks to be a very average team.
Right.
The Raiders do not look good. The Chargers look good, but, you will see the Chargers in December. And
Charger.
Yeah, and you know what? If you're the Chiefs, all you're saying is just keep them close. And then we'll make a run late. And, like, that's – and honestly, worst case scenario, you're the 5 seed. Great. Here's Daniel Jones in a playoff game. Awesome. It's like getting a bye as a 5 seed. Like, you move right on. So if you're the Chiefs, look, you have to win this game.
Yeah. You
have to win this game. This is one of these games, if you're Spags, you treat this game like a playoff game. You're like, look, A+ plan in this game. Like, we are completely shutting Russell Wilson down in this thing. I'll tell you what I would do. I don't know how you feel about this. I would put Watson on Neighbors.
Ooh.
I would double him. And I would put McDuffie on Wandell Robinson and say, go ahead, beat me. Do it.
Yeah, I don't hate that.
I give you the old Belichick. Your number 2 corner on their number 1 receiver, rotate help that way. I tell McDuffie, if you can't shut down Wandell Robinson, you don't get a second contract. Let's get it. Like, that would be, I would be putting guys down in the box, Right. It's Bolton every third down. I mean, here it comes. Do something about it. Because one thing Russell Wilson, he's not throwing in the middle of the field, and he's not running.
Mm-hmm.
So here it comes. And if he completes a moon ball, fine. I'll live with him throwing 140-yard moon ball. I don't care. Like, go ahead and beat me.
Craig Stout made this point on the KC Laboratory on Wednesday. We talked about the Chiefs' defense, and they blitzed Jalen Hurts 64% of the time, which is also an insane number of blitzes.
Yeah.
The only other team that might be able to get away with that might be this Giants team by blitzing them 64% of the time. So they might be able to use the same defensive game plan, truthfully, on the New York Giants. So I do think that's interesting. So interesting enough, Matt, you did say that this was a must win. One of the questions I was going to ask you if this was a must win or a can't lose.
I mean, no matter how you fucking look at it, you better be 1-2 at the end of this thing.
You bet. Okay? Yeah.
I mean, my buddy Dave Damashek, God love him. I remember walking around Media Row with him the first Chiefs-Eagles Super Bowl, and he walked down, and he was making a mockery of the fact that like people ask the dumbest questions of those things.
For sure, yeah.
And he just kept going up to like players and coaches and be like, "Listen, let me ask you something. Is this a must-win?" And some of the guys got a really good kick out of it, and some guys want to kill him. But it was funny as hell. And I was like, you know what? Normally, like I'm not for those kinds of bits. I think, but like it was actually really funny. No, listen, it's a must win. It's a can't lose. It's a clear eyes, full heart can't lose. You name it. Okay, like whatever. If Coach Taylor's got to get involved,
true.
I mean, hell, maybe Riggins is a better running back than anybody on the team currently.
100%.
And him the rock. Okay, like I mean, or Smash or whoever the hell else. People, by the way, if you're not following this, we're talking about Friday Night Lights, the show.
Yes.
Listen, somewhere Seth is beaming. Big fan of the show.
Yeah, loves it.
When he snowed in August in Minnesota, he watches it quite a bit. But we can't get out, kids. There's been a blizzard. It's July 4th. We're gonna watch the fireworks through the snow. Listen,
insane.
Yeah, Minnesota, Buffalo, it's the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. But now, you know what? This is an opportunity for the Chiefs. Go out and win this game. I know it sounds weird, but I promise you, if they win this game, as long as they get out of it healthy,
yeah,
you're going to walk out of it going like, look, they got an opportunity. If they beat Baltimore all of a sudden, like, they're not in horrible position. They're actually in pretty decent shape. Like, they really would be. You'd be like, all right, they're 2-2 going to Jacksonville.
Right.
And, all right, like, you're not – I mean, beating Baltimore is not going to be easy. I got to tell you though, the Chiefs kind of own Baltimore. Like they beat them every time they see them.
They're their boogeyman. Yeah,
they just kill them every single time they play them. They beat them. And look, Baltimore's not exactly been a house of fire at this point. I know they blew out Cleveland. That was largely because of the fourth quarter. That game was like unnervingly close for about 45 minutes in Baltimore before Cleveland's defense was like, listen, we can't do this anymore. We've been on the field for 59 minutes.
Right.
But I mean, Baltimore's, that game going into the fourth quarter was 20-10.
Yeah.
It wasn't like you watched that game and you're like, oh my goodness. Like, look at Baltimore's first touchdown drive. In fact, Baltimore in the first quarter of that game, not to get off topic.
Yeah.
6 plays, 16 yards punt. 8 plays, 24 yards field goal. 3 plays, 2 yards punt. 2 plays, 24 yards touchdown. 3 plays, 6 yards punt. 3 plays, 5 yards punt. 6 plays, 3 yards punt. That's what Baltimore did. Baltimore had 7 fucking drives in the first half and went 24 yards twice for 10 points. And in the third quarter, by the way, went 4 plays, 5 yards, touchdown. Okay? Like, they had, in the 7 plays, 51 yards field goal, they went, I'm doing the math, man, 104 yards for 20 points before the fourth quarter.
Wow.
So let's not exactly make this out about like, oh, wow, Baltimore really came alive. They're like Frampton. Like, no, they really didn't. They kind of sucked.
Yeah.
But Cleveland is Cleveland and, did what they do. But, Baltimore had 242 yards of offense and 41 points. Okay. So, like, the Chiefs could shut them down.
Yeah.
They could. And if they can do that, like, they might have enough to win the game. Plus, Baltimore's off a short week, so they play Monday night this week.
That's true. That is an interesting way to kind of look at this. And if you would have said like going into week 4, not to totally like overlook the Giants game, because
you can't overlook it the way they're playing.
You absolutely cannot. And I know like we're not on the team, so we can do this, right? I know people will be in the comment section already, and they'll be like, we got to focus on this week. I don't know how to do shit. I'm not on playing on the football game. We can talk about whatever. Man, we can talk about week 18 if we wanted to right now, because this is America and we can do that. Here's the thing. When there's a couple of other things I want to talk about with this football game, with the matchup with the Giants. But when you look at it, if you would have told me like in August after the schedule came out and you're like, okay, Chiefs will be 2-2 after week 4, you would have been like, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, because you would have looked at it and said, well, they should beat the Giants. Like, I'd be like, I would have wanted them to be 3-1, but I also would have been like, listen, like if they lost to like Philly and split the other 2 games, like,
right.
I certainly wouldn't have felt like it was a disaster.
Exactly.
And I really wouldn't have felt that way if you told me that Worthy got hurt 3 plays into the opener.
And Rashee Rice was suspended.
Yeah. So, like, I stand by this. And by the way, I can tell you that people in the building feel like this because I've talked to people in the building this week. Keep your head above water till Rice gets back.
Yeah.
That has been, like, and nobody gave me a record or anything to be clear, but the vibe was like, be 3-3.
Mm-hmm.
Just get to that point. Because again, also you look at their, and like I hate playing the whole schedule game, but it is true. Yeah. When you look at the Chiefs schedule after the first 6 weeks, other than going to Buffalo, you could really argue like there's not a hard game in the schedule. Like they're really not that they couldn't lose. I mean, we saw them almost lose to Aiden O'Connell last year. Okay,
and the Panthers.
But like, yeah, Raiders twice, Denver, who does not look that difficult right now, twice. Mm-hmm. The Chargers. Tough game, but it's at home, and like it's in December. You've Houston, Indianapolis, Tennessee, none of which will. I mean, Indianapolis will score world beater right now, but I'm not exactly quaking in my boots from the Chiefs playing the Colts.
Yeah.
I mean, the Colts are a leverage penalty away from being 1-1, and nobody cares. Okay,
for sure.
And it's like, oh yeah, they beat the Dolphins. Awesome, congrats. The Colts, I feel like, are this year's Saints, but like with some more staying power because of the coaching staff. But like,
I agree.
Yeah. Dallas. Okay, fine. Yeah. The Commanders, fine. Like, it's not – there's nothing about that schedule the last 11 weeks of the year that outside of going to Buffalo, you're like, that's a hard game. Right. Like, even the Denver game on the road after a bye.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, they could easily, if they're healthy, go 9-2. And you're sitting there like, all right, cool. 12-5, won the division again. We're a 2 seed. You know, I mean, that's why that Baltimore game is also sneakily really big. Because if they win that game, Baltimore's schedule is murderous all year long. Like, you win that game, like, all right, maybe you're not going to catch Buffalo. You could very easily be a 2 seed. And then you're like, all right, who cares? If they're good enough to get to the AFC title game, like, fine, we'll go to Buffalo and shut down that stadium.
Sure,
and beat it for the 80th straight year in a playoff game. Like, all right. But, I mean, so if you're the Chiefs, it starts this Sunday. You have to win this game. You have to win this game. I saw a stat earlier. Since 2015, if you start 0-3, there have been 41 teams that have started 0-3 since the start of 2015. One of them made the playoffs.
Wow.
Don't go 0-3.
Yeah, I think so. All right. I agree with that. There's a couple things I do want to talk about with this game matchup-wise. Both of actually are in the trenches on both sides of the ball. But first, I got to call all Chiefs fans because you could be on the field at the 50 inside GEHA Field for the official coin toss at a Chiefs home game this season. Visit Chiefs.com/GEHA now. Enter to win a chance to be on the field for a once-in-a-lifetime view of the pregame coin toss. Plus, you can score other exclusive prizes and defer a chance to win at Chiefs.com/GEHA. GEHA is the proud partner of the Kansas City Chiefs. Let's take a timeout, and we'll be back right after this. Chiefs.
Looking for tickets for your next event? Tickets for Less is your #1 source. Save big on every purchase when you use promo code KCSN at ticketsforless.com.
Just a short drive from Kansas City. Experience the history, the heritage, and the bourbon at Holiday Distillery. Tour Missouri's oldest distillery, where real Missouri bourbon is made the old-fashioned way. Walk the grounds, taste the tradition, and take home a bottle of something special. Make the trip, sip the story. Holiday Distillery, Weston, Missouri. Book your tour at holidaydistillery.com.
Success in real estate takes more than vision. It takes the right financial partner. When someone takes something rundown and turns it into something great, That's called a comeback story, like Brain Group. They take distressed properties here in KC, completely rework them, and then turn them into valuable real estate. But that kind of work needs the right bank behind it. Enter Emprise Bank. They're not about cookie-cutter loans. They saw Brain Group's vision, backed them, and now they're making big moves in Kansas City real estate. Talk about your partner in possible. Emprise doesn't do one-size-fits-all financing. They invest in potential and back growth. Visit emprisebank.com/KC to learn more. Emprise Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
All right, let's dive into the trenches of this game, Matt, because there is a really good defensive line for the New York Giants, and the Kansas City Chiefs have a defensive line that, as more numbers come out, it looks worse and worse. What side do you want to start with? Do you want to start with the Giants defensive line or the Chiefs defensive line?
Oh, let's just rip the Band-Aid right off. Start with the Chiefs offensive line against the Giants defensive line.
Okay, let's do that because, look, Dexter Lawrence, I don't know if you guys heard, pretty damn good football player, and he might be legitimately, he might be the best interior rusher in the NFL right now. And he's winning quick, and he's going against a guy who loses quick. So that could be a recipe for disaster for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh my man. I'm not laughing. Like, you just know there's going to be a snap or two in this game where it's like Dexter Lawrence is taking a handoff. And they're going to show like the Chiefs sideline, and Mahomes is going to be screaming at somebody, and it's just going to be, I don't know how, it's like the meme on Twitter, like, who could have done this? Like, I feel like that's what's coming. Yeah, no. Dexter Lawrence is really good at football.
Yeah.
And listen, like, he oddly does not, let's make sure I'm right with this. He does not have a sack yet this year.
Oh.
Burns is 3, Thibodeau is 1.5. This is oddly a thing with the Giants. They only have 6 sacks so far this season.
What's their pressure rate? I should look that up.
I'll look it up while we're talking. But it's listen, I mean, the bottom line here is Dexter Lawrence can wreck shop in a major, like, I would expect it if so here's, I guess, to give a little schematic thought. If he lines up over Suamataia, they have got to slide Humphrey as much as humanly possible that direction. Yeah. They have. I mean, because otherwise, you're asking for a major problem. By the way, the Giants' pressure rate to start the season is brutal. It is 28th in the NFL.
They got dudes on that D-line, too, which is very interesting.
The Chiefs are 26th, for those who care. But, yeah, the Giants only have 3 quarterback hits this entire season. They're tied with the Chiefs. I'll say this about this game. If the Giants don't get that right, they're going to lose.
Yeah.
Because they're not winning this game if Deontay Banks is matched up against somebody one-on-one all night long, okay? Like,
yeah, right.
I promise you, they will not win that way. But their pressure rate is not good. Their blitz rate, for those wondering, like, how do they play?
Yeah.
Their blitz rate is fairly high. They're 10th in the NFL. The Chiefs, by the way, are number 1 in the NFL, mostly because they blitzed Jalen Hurts when he got off the bus. But the Giants are 10th, and they're still not getting home. So what that tells you is, listen, they're blitzing a lot. They're leaving guys on islands to throw at them. Mm-hmm. So, like, you've got to be able to take advantage of that. But, yes, I would imagine that if you're getting Kingsley against Lawrence, they're going to try to do everything they can to slide that way. Now, if the Giants blitz off the right side, you can't do that. So then it sets up one-on-ones, and there's schematic things the Giants can do back. If he lines up over Trey Smith, I feel like the Chiefs will say, all right, we'll go one-on-one and take our chances, and we'll be mostly okay there.
Mm-hmm.
My big concern in this game is Brian Burns screaming off the edge against Juwan Taylor. Like, the one real bright spot for the Chiefs offensively has been Josh Simmons looks like that guy. So, like, I'm not too worried about, even if it's Burns or Thibodeau off of him, like, Simmons looks like he can handle it.
Yeah.
It's more like, here's an idea. Keep a back in and just duct tape him to Juwan Taylor's hip.
Yeah.
Just do that and be like, look, if we're getting beat, it's going to be Lawrence or a blitzer. That's it. And it's going to be Lawrence over Suamataia. And if Mahomes sees that matchup and knows he can't slide that way, that ball's got to come out. Like, that has to be the adjustment. I think you leave Simmons on an island. You leave Humphrey and Smith on an island. Have Humphrey slide to Kingsley if you need him to help on Lawrence. If he can't slide and you've got to slide the other way because of pressure, then you need to understand, A, you're getting blitzed.
Yeah.
B, you're getting doubly blitzed because Suamatea and Lawrence is basically a blitz. Okay, you need. I'm sorry. Hey, man, it's
like an unaccounted for man, basically.
Yes, he is a free rusher. You need to get the ball out quickly. Like that ball's got to come out immediately. Like you can't be going like, hey, I think that 6 routes open. No. Like it's got to come out now. And if you're the Chiefs, I think that's how you play this game offensively. You say, we're gonna chip on the right side, leave our 3 good linemen alone, help Kingsley as much as possible, and Mahomes has got to be sharp in his pre-snap reads.
He does. Interesting enough, I looked this up yesterday. Actually, Mahomes has the second shortest time to throw. It'd be how you would phrase that. Because for how long he has to throw the football, the quarterback that has the least amount of time to throw, Russell Wilson. So they can't block anybody. Interesting enough, the Chiefs' defensive line can't rush anybody. So that's going to be an immovable object versus a what is that? What's that saying?
An immovable force against the irresistible.
Whatever. Our comment section will already correct.
Oh, you know what that's going to be. That's going to be like, you think you guys suck? The hell you do. Watch how bad we go. Like we're not even gonna block, but we're not gonna rush the quarterback. It's like that. That'll be a good time. That'll be look. Russell Wilson. The one advantage the Chiefs have in this game, other than like the unbelievably obvious.
Yeah.
The one big advantage they have is Mahomes at least can evade pressure. Wilson cannot.
Right.
Like if the Chiefs, that's why honestly in this game, man, I got. If I were Spagnuolo, I would blitz the daylight. I just be look, man, he can't move. He's not going to throw over the middle. He everything with him. I would just play 2 unless they're really running the ball against you. Well, I'd play 2 safeties deep, take away his moon ball, and be look, man, we're doubling neighbors on any meaningful pass down. And I'll leave McDuffie and Wandell Robinson 1-on-1, and I'll play man coverage. They don't have a tight end who scares you.
Nope. They
don't have a third receiver. I'd be like, look, we're playing man. We're blitzing the hell out of you. Like, beat us. Go ahead and do it. Because he's not going to run. He can't take, it's just, they're very limited in reality in what they can do with Wilson. Like, he's not the player he used to be where it's like, oh, he will run. He'll evade. He'll get out of the, to this point in the season, Russell Wilson has rushed for 67 yards and he's leading the team. So that's exciting. 2 quarterbacks leading the team. But did you see? I saw this stat the other day. I have to share this.
Yeah, go ahead.
The Chiefs are like toward the top of the league in explosive plays on offense, largely because they have 9 runs of 10 or more yards. I was like, man, that's crazy. Like what?
And then it dawned all 9 of them.
And then it dawned on me. Mahomes has 7 of them.
Man, I saw this chart. You bring that up. I saw this chart today. One of the nerd charts out there from @Doug_analytics. Didn't mean to just put him on blast like that. Call him a northern.
Go to his site and let him know it now.
Yeah. QB scramble rates. Patrick Mahomes, 17% scramble rate, leads the league right now. That's higher than Jalen Hurts. That's higher than Lamar Jackson at 3%. The league average is 6%. Patrick Mahomes, and I've tweeted this out literally on like the first or second drive of the game against the Eagles last week. I was like, he's got to do everything, right? So he has to be the rushing game. He has to be the passing game. If he could catch the ball, he probably would as well. He's going to probably complete a pass to himself, which isn't the fun fact that like Brett Favre's first completed pass was to himself or something like that. Yeah, that's crazy.
Look, all you need to know about Mahomes so far this year, he scrambled 13 times, which is more than any other quarterback in the league.
Yep.
He also, though, however, like play action passing yardage.
Yes.
He has thrown for 22 play action passing yards this season. 22. Not great. Russell Wilson, by the way, is thrown for 128, which is 7th in the NFL. So be advised if you're the Chiefs. Hey, look, their leading rusher is a guy who runs like he has 2 broken ankles. I'm thinking just play the pass. Like, I wouldn't worry that much about it.
Yeah.
They They don't run a ton of RPO stuff. It's pretty much just straight up. In fact, they don't run any RPO stuff. But yeah, this is not a team like that you really have to worry that much about in terms of a lot of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, Mahomes has been hit more than any other quarterback in the league, man, 13 times. Ironically, number 2, Russell Wilson, 10.
These two quarterbacks are weird and bizarrely close in a lot of these categories we keep.
Which is not good if you're a Chiefs fan.
Not great.
Not good.
Not great. I saw a last nerd stat before I have a conversation with Benny here. We talk about some lines across the league, and Matt and I will then wrap up with some around the NFL talk as we get ready for week 3 in the NFL. Net efficiency on sacks and scrambles. Boy, howdy, that is a nerdy title for this chart.
I've tuned out.
It is expected points added on sacks and scrambles. So Patrick Mahomes, when he scrambles, according to their formula, adds 5 points when Patrick Mahomes leaves the pockets and scrambles, and those leads the league.
Let me tell you, you know what gives you -7 points? Throwing to Travis Kelce at the goal line.
Great point.
Apparently that in both games, one was dropped and one he just stopped running.
That's true. Yeah.
So I do appreciate, though, that after just skipping out on the media, he then immediately went on new heights and was like, let me take accountability. It's like, I don't know. I'm thinking maybe just do that after the game.
Yeah. Let's take accountability 3 days later. I can do that.
And by the way, like, I am a huge fan of Travis Kelce, both personally and professionally. I've interviewed him before on podcasts. I will tell anybody who will listen, he is one of the nicest people I've ever interviewed. He's thoughtful. He's kind. He's very courteous. And he's been a hell of a football player. But, like, man, when you're 0-2 and you're not playing well, that's when you need to be a leader. Just saying.
Yep. I think it's a good point. All right. I sit down with Benny Heiss. Ben Heisler joins me. We talk a little bit about NFL lines, some best bets, some best picks on the old DraftKings Sportsbook. Go take advantage of that. It's almost time. It's almost here in Missouri to take advantage of it. December 1st, big day. So here's Benny and I. We're going to talk about some lines coming up right after this break. Chiefs.
What's up, guys? I'm BJ Kissel, founder and CEO of KC Sports Network, and I'm here to talk to Kansas City businesses. If you rely on technology, you need an IT support team that's not just another vendor, but a true IT partner. That's how I want to introduce you to my friend and neighbor, KJ Miller. He is a VCIO at ThrottleNet, the Midwest's highest rated and most reviewed IT support company. They've been in business for more than 25 years, helping companies stay secure, productive, and ahead of the curve. They aren't just IT support, but they provide data security, IT strategy, and cloud software services. They do it all, and their reviews show they do it better than anyone else. So if you want to hear about how ThrottleNet can help your local business, join the conversation with myself, KJ Miller from ThrottleNet, and our resident genius from KC Sports Network when it comes to IT, at least as he's affectionately known by us, Mr. Craig Stout. Click the link in the description to hear how ThrottleNet can help you.
Benny, thanks for joining me on That Football Show. Welcome back to That Football Show. It's this football season. We got you back here to talk about all kinds of stuff from the NFL, the lines going on, and getting people set to go for this week 3 action of NFL. Welcome back to That Football Show.
It feels good to be back. I feel like I haven't skipped a beat. The Bears are continuing to take my hair out. People are already starting to yell things about the Chiefs 2 games in. So like, has anything really changed, Tucker?
The more they change, the more they stay the same. I think that's how it goes. Like the more they change, the more they stay the same as it is. Week 3 is already here. Again, like another thing that happens, it seems like already it'll be week 14 by the time we look up and everything will be rocking and rolling. 2 games, I guess, under our belts so far in the NFL season. What have you noticed so far? What's going on in the betting world with these NFL teams?
So I don't know if it's necessarily specific to betting, but I think many of us that tune in on a week by week basis, we're all in our survivor pools. We're, taking a look at all the different, odds over on DraftKings, trying to figure out where everything is going. Like, what are the trends actually suggesting, and can we actually gain anything from it?
Yeah.
First couple of weeks, like, I don't know if it feels to you, Tucker, does it kind of feel like everybody's still alive in Survivor? And if it feels that way, like, there's a reason. Favorites in week 1, 13-3 straight up. Week 2, 11-5. So I'm looking at it from the perspective of like, okay, that's not going to last all season long.
Right.
Maybe a lot of these books need to adjust. They need to figure out sort of where the margins actually are. Another crazy thing is that closing favorites of 4+ points so far, they're 12-0. It's the first time since the 1950s that's happened, according to my guy, Evan Abrams. The interesting thing is that week 3 usually is when things start to turn around. If you go and look at the actual win rate of favorites, just straight up, not even dealing with against the spread, since 2019, week 3 has been very, very difficult on favorites, only winning the game straight up just under 57% of the time. So there's some big numbers this week. I'm sure we'll dive into a few of them. Chiefs hovering right around that 6.5 over on DraftKings on the road on Sunday Night Football against the Giants. Some pretty big lines, but we might see a few more upsets here in week 3.
Yeah, I'm looking, just kind of quickly perusing our friends at DraftKings Sportsbook. They make it so easy to look at all these lines at once, right? They are one of the bigger lines of the week when it comes down to it, especially on Sunday, other than looks like the Jets at Bucks is a bigger line. It looks like Packers at Browns is a bigger line. There was one more I saw that caught my eye. Oh, Saints at Seahawks is a bigger line. But other than that, I mean, the Chiefs, as we're recording this podcast, they're at 6 right now. 6-point favorites over the New York Giants at a building, Benny, they've never won at. They've never beat the Giants in New York. Can you believe that? In the franchise history, the Kansas City Chiefs have never beat the Giants in New York.
That's true. I wonder what it is in New Jersey, though. No, I'm just kidding. It's you're right. -6. Looking at some of the live splits right now from DraftKings, 70% of the bets are on the Chiefs at -6, but they've gotten a pretty sizable influx of cash on Kansas City, about a 15% difference. So 85% of the money is on Kansas City. So looking at it from DraftKings perspective, they're probably going to need the Giants to cover in this game. And I think at this point, if you're looking for something on the Chiefs, it's like, okay, maybe they don't cover, but let's get one win over here as well. Total, it's another low number, which makes sense given Kansas City's inability to really consistently score and the inconsistencies of Mahomes. We're seeing a difference in money versus bets for the total. So right now it's at 45.5. We're seeing more money coming on the under. 56% of the money is on the under compared to 59% of the bets is on the over. I'm leaning more towards the under from this, and I'm sure we'll get into that in just a little bit. I know that the Giants put up a whole lot of points last week, and Malik Neighbors was running wild. He's leading the NFL right now in receiving yards. But Kansas City's defense is a handful of notches above Dallas, and I think all of us can speak to that.
100%. And I think that's the big kind of takeaway is that, look, the Cowboys' defense is not very good. Yeah. And they've got the Chiefs have got a better secondary, and those were two. Again, if you look at the Giants in that Cowboys game from last week, it was just big play after big play because nobody could cover anyone, and that's kind of the story with the Giants defense as well, as they don't really have anybody on their back end. Look, I mean, they played the Commanders, and they allowed the Commanders to score a whole lot of points too. The Giants did, so it could be interesting. That total number could be interesting. 45.5 is got to be one of the lower numbers on the board this week, right, Benny?
Yeah, looking at some of the numbers overall, it's sort of right in the middle. I mean, obviously, you look at like the Monday night game; it's 53.5 between the Lions and the Ravens, but Cardinals and 49ers a tad lower. Bears and Cowboys is a pretty high number at 50.5. Broncos and Chargers, another AFC West matchup, 45.5. So it's kind of sort of right in that sweet spot of follow the line. It's sort of in that weird mark between 44 and 46, 47. Those are fairly key numbers in the NFL. I think what's also interesting too, and I'll steal another one from Evan Abrams. He points out that the Chiefs and the Giants, both 0-2 teams, Chiefs right now 6-point favorites on the road. He says since 1990, we have not ever seen a team with 0 wins and two or more losses close as a road favorite of 7 points or more. if they get there, they would be the first to ever do so. There have been 2 teams since 1993 that have closed at 6.5, the 2022 Bengals and then the 1993 Cowboys. Both of those games, they won and they covered. And if you look at the 2 that were at 6, the 2019 Washington football team, they covered, or excuse me, no, they did not cover against Miami on the road, but they won. And then the 2014 Colts obliterated the Jaguars 44-17. So 3 out of the 4 times they covered. Be curious as to whether or not the betting public says, okay, if Kansas City can't win and cover this week, I'm not sure when it's going to be. Plus, one other thing to note, Tucker, that -6, that's going to be the bread and butter for anybody looking to put in a teaser this week. If you get 6 points, basically you're choosing the Chiefs to win outright as opposed to having to cover the 6. So again, a little bit more consideration for the sports books in particular with DraftKings. If they get a Giants win, that's going to be huge for them. Knowing plenty of people are going to take the Chiefs and include them in teasers this week.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great point. Those are certainly numbers to be watching as the game time gets closer. Let's a few more minutes here, Benny. Appreciate your time coming on the show. Let's talk about some other numbers around the league. Is there any other game that you got your eye on as one that could be fun to place down a couple bets, either whether it's total or spread or really anything, I guess, that you have, if there's any props, any other games or matchups you got your eyes on?
There's some really intriguing plays, I think, from an underdog perspective this week, because we're talking about the favorites.
Yeah.
Let's start with Denver. Okay, right now it's hovering anywhere between -2.5. I've seen 3 as well, just for a snippet of the time. Part of the reason that I really like Denver this week on the road against the Chargers, week 3 underdogs that have gone 0-2 against the spread have covered in week 3 61% of the time. When you factor that into a divisional underdog, they cover in week 3 80% of the time.
Wow.
That's one key thing. Then there's Sean Payton. Sean Payton is like the anti-favorite. He's like the anti-hero. 12-5 against the spread in week 3 for his career. He's even better in week 4, but not something to really worry about now. But in weeks 1 and 2, over the entirety of Sean Payton's career, he's 12-24 against the spread.
Oh my gosh.
Chargers coming off a short week. They've had back-to-back primetime games. Full week of rest for Denver, which I think was a team that most of us expected to probably outclass the Chargers just a tad in the division this year. I like Denver quite a bit this week. And yeah, there's more crazy underdog trends. Like, since this is from Bets by Itachi over on Twitter, since 2011, winless week 3 divisional underdogs with a total less than 45. So this is going all the way back 14 years.
Wow.
Are 13-0 against the spread. There are 3 teams that fit this criteria this week. And again, when we talk about trends, this isn't like a blind bet 'em.
Yeah.
But definitely worth consideration. And the 3 teams here are Houston at +1.5, Carolina +5.5, and Tennessee +4. What's crazy about Tennessee too, Tucker, is that they had been one of the worst covering teams in history last year. They went 2-15 against the spread last year, and they finally covered in one of their 2 games so far this year. So one more to actually tying the number of times that they've covered. Would not be surprised if they end up tying it this week as well.
Yeah, the Titans taking on the Colts on the Sunday. That'll be a noon slate game as well. I don't think we get that one in Kansas City. Looked at the ball maps a little bit earlier from 506 Sports. I don't think that one is going to hit in Kansas City. Obviously, if you have Sunday ticket, you'll get it in Kansas City. But that could be an interesting one. I want to go back to the Broncos Chargers. Last thing I got from you, is that a money line play, you think, for Broncos? Do you feel good about a money line play there?
Yeah, let's see if I can pull up that number really quick. I
got it +130 at DraftKings Sportsbook right now.
Yeah, I mean, why not? Especially if if it's at +3, like if the line ends up moving and everybody's like fully on board with the Chargers. I think you can take it. I think the better value play is probably to take the +3 if it gets to that number. If it's at +2.5, yeah, you might as well roll with the money line price there. I just think Denver's a good team.
Yeah.
Whether or not you fully buy into Bo Nix is one thing to consider. And Herbert's been playing great, but his receivers have been kind of overachieving a little bit. I don't know whether or not Keenan Allen's going to turn into a pumpkin at some point.
Right.
And Johnson's been an unbelievable. And I still have high expectations for Omarion Hampton, but he hasn't been fairly consistent as well. And now they're dealing with a pretty serious injury for Khalil Mack. It just kind of feels like the Broncos have just not played up to their standards. And granted, if they would have found a way to not get screwed at the end of that game against the Colts, we're talking about 2-0 teams. And maybe the conversation is a little bit different. So I think Denver is being a bit undervalued in this spot. And part of the other reason that I like them.
I think so too. I like that plus 30. I'm a big money line fan, Benny.
I know you are. If you like them enough at a short number, then chase them, roll the dice. Just divisional games, man. Like divisional games, you're on the road. If you can get a point and it feels like it's a good number, you bet the number, not the team. But I totally understand where you're coming from.
Well, look, I might have to hop on over to the Kansas side of things because you guys know I'm out here in Missouri. But look,
come on over.
Missouri, get ready. The wait is almost over. DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is coming soon to the Show Me State, and I cannot wait. And you can also sign up today as well. New Missouri customers can get $300 in bonus bets when we launch on December 1st. Download now and place a $5 bet when we go live. DraftKings Sportsbook brings you everything you need to elevate your game day, including live in-game betting, lightning-fast payouts, and endless ways to get in on the action, all right from your phone. And when we officially go live in Missouri, you'll be betting with the Sportsbook app trusted by millions. Safe, secure, and has fast money withdrawals. Here's what you got to do. Download that DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code KCSN to grab $300 in bonus bets with just a $5 bet when we go live on December 1st. That's code KCSN in partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus, physically present in Missouri. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Excludes customers who redeem pre-launch sign-up offer. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. Benny, appreciate your time.
Always good to see you talking. Get ready. December 1st is going to be here real damn soon. So get ready.
Can't wait. All right, Matt, let's wrap this show up. A couple of around the NFL headlines here. How stoked are you for Carson Wentz and Jake Browning?
I will not tune into that game unless forced to by my editor, who is a Vikings fan.
Oh, no.
So he is, as the kids say, down bad.
Yeah.
I will not be watching that in the early window. I will tell you, I am like, to stay in the NFC North.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of morbidly excited for this Bears-Cowboys game because I love Ben Johnson just coming out in the press room being like, we don't have the practice habits of a championship team.
I love that, by the way.
What do you got to tell you? You're the coach. So that's
a great point, actually. I didn't think about that.
Like, you're coaching the team.
Yeah, that's his fault.
Not great. So that's one concern I have. Like, Ben Johnson has had this thing kind of all since he's taken over about just like randomly taking shots at people, whether it's like Matt LaFleur or his quarterback or like just the entire team vaguely at practice. Like, here's an idea. Own the shit. You're 0-2, and you're the guy who on week 1 was like, you know what? Let's kick the ball off deep. I'll let the guy run out of the end zone so we don't have the 2-minute warning and we just submarine any chance we have to win the game. Like, that's your fucking problem. Like, you're the coach. Come on. And by the way, what does he know about a team that has championship habits in practice? Did I miss something? Does he have a Super Bowl ring? Because I didn't see the Lions in the Super Bowl the last couple of years. I saw the Lions giving up 45 points to Washington.
Oof.
I saw that. Yeah. I saw them blowing a 24-7 lead in an NFC title game. Look, I'm not bagging on the Lions. Like, they've been, I say I am kind of, but like they've been really good. But the point is, like, my point is that Ben Johnson cannot carry himself like a championship coach. Bro, you've never won a championship.
Yeah.
Like, you have no, you know who can do that? Eric Bieniemy if he wants to. And I'm not trying to stoke those flames here with that, but I'm just saying, like, Eric Bieniemy can at least sit there and be, hey, I won 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, I played in one as a player. Like, I know what it takes to be there, to get there. Whatever you think of him, like, that's just fact.
Right.
Joe Tooney could slap his 4 rings down on Ben Johnson's desk and be like, yeah, what of it? I'm running practice.
He should, probably.
You know, it's like, what world do you live in that you're just like, I'll tell you what I know about winning the Super Bowl. What do you win one on Madden? Because otherwise, you haven't won a damn thing. You and I have the same amount of rings. Hell, I don't know if he's married, but if he's not, boom, 1-0.
Ooh.
So, like, what world do you get off in being like, I'll tell you what, we don't practice like the Super Bowl teams I've been on. Okay, thanks.
I think he's just talking about what he thinks a championship team practice like.
Great. Well, then he ought to then get them to do that since he's the coach of the team.
Right. Yeah. No. So I was really fired up because I was like, oh, hell yeah, get after those guys. They suck. Get after them. And then you made that point of just like, well, yeah, it's his fault. And I'm like, wait, yeah, you're right. It is his fault.
Coach of the team.
Yeah. Yeah. That is tough. I didn't think about that very hard.
That's like Mahomes came up to the podium. He was like, we got to get our passing game going. I'm sick and tired of watching these guys. Like,
good point.
Good quarterback. Like, what are we doing here? You know, like, I don't want to hear that. Or like Pacheco went up there. I was like, we got to run with better vision. We got to get this thing going. Like, and I'm sick and tired of these guys around me not doing it. You think, what?
Right.
Like,
we're all trying to find the guy who did this is basically what it is. The hot dog meme.
Yeah. Like what planet are you on? Like, we've got to practice. Like, you got the ball boy to run practice. Like, what the hell is going on there? I mean, it's just that. Look, I'm going to tell you something right now. They lose to Dallas. The wheels are like off in a major, major way. Like, if they lose that game, I live outside Chicago, Franklin, unaware. Like, yeah, it's already borderline Armageddon here. Like, people have already tuned out and don't care anymore. They've given up.
Yeah.
After this game, they're at the Raiders. It's like, okay, maybe. Then they're at the Commanders. Then they play the Saints at home. Okay. Then they're at the Ravens. Like, they lose this game. Best case scenario is probably like 2-5. Okay. And it's all kinds of over. They also have a stretch later in the year that ought to be fun. At Eagles, at Packers, Browns at home, Packers. Good luck to them.
Good thing they won that offseason championship, man. Good thing that they are the reigning offseason champions for the 5th straight year, seemingly, the Chicago Bears. They cannot stop winning offseason championships, man. Holy cow.
Them and the Chargers, it's usually they're
the NFC champions. Right.
Yeah. That'd be a great like to actually like write up like a bracket during the offseason, like who won the offseason, and like actually do it like conference style. Like, it's just the Bears and the Chargers every year just squaring off in a Super Bowl. Neither one of them ever get to.
the what if Super Bowl.
Yeah,
what it should be.
You know, I always said that's how they should determine who has the number 1 draft pick. Like, take the teams that don't make the playoffs and make them play in the losers playoffs.
Yeah, like a consolation bracket. Yeah.
But here's the thing: you've got to win that to get the number 1 pick.
Ooh, I like that.
Like, you don't get to just suck and win. Like, no. Because that'd be great. You'd have like a Cinderella story. Like, who thought the Browns would be here? And then they're going against like some team that went like 9-8.
That would be very funny to be like with like the Browns, right? And they have like a quarterback situation. Like, if they get the number 1 pick, like they're going to pick a guy who is going to be who's going to end that quarterback's job. So like, why would that quarterback be like, I'm going to win? That quarterback wouldn't want to win because like, oh, they're going to draft John Mateer 1 overall. So why would I win?
You would have some significant hijinks going on.
You would. There would be there might be a little bit of
laying down on the job.
There might be some flaws in that. But I liked it. I like where your head's at, but like legit.
Do it where financially it was motivating. You'd be like, listen,
you win some money.
Wins is everybody gets like a couple million extra.
Right, like the All-Star game for like the NBA, they win money when they win it. Yeah,
you know, which is. Yeah, I love, by the way,
Pablo is destroying the Clippers right now.
Pablo's bringing down the whole league.
Yes.
As a Knicks fan, I'm just waiting for the thing about Brunson to come out. But like, I don't even care. It's fine. Circumvent whatever you got to do. Win a championship. Apologize later. Look, Denver did it in the Super Bowl for years.
True.
I appreciate that the NBA, and I say this very tongue in cheek, that they had to take away that missing a 3-point buzzer beater from like 80 feet away, that doesn't count against your field goal percentage, because these guys in the NBA are so fragile that they can't handle the fact that their percentage at the end of the year is going to be 0.0002 lower. And they're like, listen, I know I could score 3 points for my team, but I'm thinking no, because I don't want to have this added on to my my ledger that I missed it through. That is the weakest thing. That's like if Goodell came out and said, look, from now on, Hail Marys doesn't count against your INT total.
Or like taking a knee is a team rush.
Mahomes, I'm not throwing that ball because I might get an interception. Like, his teammates would fight him on the field over that.
They should. Yeah.
Like, but in the NBA, it's like, no. It's listen, we'll just take that off your plate. What a bunch of absolute losers.
Yeah.
Anyone who doesn't shoot the ball in that situation is the biggest loser on earth.
I wonder if it's more of a gambling thing, though, too. I wonder if they're doing it because of, like, sports gambling and everything, like, with statistics, and because people can bet on so much shit now. That's, like, the one thing, like, I heard somebody bring up, like, instead of, like, taking a knee should be categorized as a team rush instead of, like, a loss of 1 yard for the person. It's just like, we don't need that.
If listen, you know what you need if you're doing that? A hot ride.
Yeah. Listen to go back and listen to the disclaimer. We got you.
Yeah. God, come on, man. I can't believe it. I just, that's part of gambling. Factor that in.
Yeah. I do have one more thing I want to talk about in the AFC North. It does have to do with the Cincinnati Bengals because the Tucker D. Franklin Research Department was firing on all cylinders. I believe this was Monday when this happened. Maybe it was Tuesday. Cincinnati Bengals had to do a lot of roster. Filling in their roster with Joe Burrow's injury and everything like that. So they had signed Sean Clifford and Mike White to their practice squad.
That's not going to do much.
Not great news. Which they also add Jake Browning and Brett Rippon is currently the two quarterbacks on their roster right now, their active roster. Yeah. And there's a common thread between all three of those guys.
They're not good.
Well, yeah, another one that I was thinking of specifically that has to do with Mike's last name. And then I went to look at the Cincinnati Bengals starting quarterbacks.
I didn't think about that. Okay,
yeah. Starting quarterback history. Joe Burrow started 2 games for him this year, 17 last year. Joe Burrow and Jake Browning in 2023. Joe Burrow in 2022 and 2021. It was Joe Burrow and Brandon Allen. Similar there. In 2020, it was Joe Burrow, Brandon Allen, and Ryan Finley. All those guys are similar.
Finley, oh my God.
In 2019, Andy Dalton and Ryan Finley. 2018, Andy Dalton and Jeff Driscoll. Andy Dalton for 17, 16. And in 2015, they had Andy Dalton and A.J. McCarron for 3 games.
A.J. McCarron, okay.
Yeah, awesome. Shout out. Also, by the way, all of them still share the common thread. 2014, 13, 12, 11, all Andy Dalton. 2010, Carson Palmer. That's a new one into the mix. Same common thread. Ryan Fitzpatrick in 08 and Carson Palmer. Still the same. Carson Palmer for 07, 06, 05. 04 is Palmer and Kitna.
Okay.
Still the same.
Yeah.
Kitna in 03. And in 2002, Matt, John Kitna started 12 games. Gus Frerotte, I think that's how you say his name. Frerotte, okay. 3 games. And Akey Smith started 1 game for them. Achilles.
He was drafted number 1 overall, I believe.
That's actually insane. I'd never heard of him before I did this project.
He was drafted before Donovan McNabb. It's the same year.
Wow. Yeah. First round, 3rd overall pick by the Cincinnati Bengals.
Oh, yeah.
1999. So the last time.
He was drafted right after him.
What game would that have been? He started 1 game for them in the.
He started 1 game his entire career.
No, in 2002.
Oh my God!
In 2002, he started 1 game for them. It looks like he started 1 in 2001 and 11 in 2000, 4 in 99 when he was drafted. They had Jeff Blake on that.
You know the Bengals. I'm going to tread lightly here. The Bengals are not exactly an organization that moves at a rapid pace.
For sure.
Maybe in this case, unintentionally or unintentionally, but I was doing research about the Dolphins in preparation for a column where I basically just lay them to rest if they lose on Thursday night.
Yeah, fair.
Look at smoke. And I was looking up how long Chris Greer has been the GM there. And he's been the GM since 2016.
Yeah, isn't that nuts?
Do you know who the longest tenured GM is in the NFL?
I've looked this up outside of Jerry, obviously.
Jerry.
Yeah, Jerry doesn't count. It's like I can't remember.
It's Duke Tobin of the Bengals.
Yes, that's right.
1999.
And he's like he's not even like officially the GM. He's like the
director of player personnel or something.
And he's like the acting GM, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, it has been for 26 years.
Yeah.
And I went through and looked. Like the only GMs who have been there longer than Greer are Duke Tobin, Mickey Loomis, who's been there since 2002.
That's right. Yep.
Les Snead from 2012 on, John Schneider in 2010, and Howie Roseman, 2010.
Yeah.
All of them won a Super Bowl except for Duke Tobin. And it's like, how is Duke Tobin still running this team? Like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Like, what's going on? But it's just they're the Bengals. So it's like, it's fine. Like, okay. And yeah, the Bengals, I mean, some of this has been, they've been awful. And so they took Palmer and Burrow, like, just number one overall.
Right. Yeah.
You know, and like they had them forever. And like Dalton just, they kind of like fell in their lap in the second round. So like some of this has just been like happenstance. But yes, the Bengals are just between all, like everything in their history, their Ring of Honor.
Yeah. That's
like,
crazy.
It's like Marvin Lewis for 16. Like, to be completely clear with this, like I do not think the Bengals are like racist or anything, but like the Bengals.
No.
I mean, Marvin Lewis was the head coach of the team for 16 years. They never won anything. 16 years without winning a playoff game. That deserves like a 30 for 30. It's like 5 parts.
Yeah.
Like, how the hell did that happen?
That is crazy.
The Bengals are just a staggering organization.
They are. I am looking at their quarterbacks to start the postseason.
Oh, dude.
White.
Postseason starts? I can do it off the top of my head.
Mm-hmm.
Virgil Carter in 1970.
Yep.
Ken Anderson in multiple seasons, 70s and 80s. Boomer Esiason in the 80s and early 90s. And then it went right into Palmer, who got hurt immediately, and Kitna came in for him. And then it was a shitload of Andy Dalton.
It was.
Losing every game he ever played in the playoffs.
There's one in here that's going to be a curveball.
Yeah, I bet I can figure it out. Karen.
Yeah, it is McCarron.
Yep. They lost in that hilarious Vontaze Burfict game where he took 30 yards for penalties. Yep. I remember that game. And then Burrow.
Nailed it. Absolutely crushed it.
So
common thread between all those guys, by the way.
Well, the common thread is none of them won a Super Bowl. That's common.
They all suck. Boom.
Oh, wow. You know what's crazy? They like Esiason and Anderson both MVPs.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Both the year they took them to the Super Bowl, 81 and 88. They're both the MVPs. And either one, they're two of the only quarterbacks who are MVPs in the NFL that aren't in the Hall of Fame.
Huh.
I mean, there are a few more. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying the only ones, but like it's a fairly small group. Like Cam, he's not eligible yet, but I don't think he's ever going to get in.
I don't think so.
There are a few. Like there are a few other ones. Burt Jones. He probably would have. But he got hurt. But the point is, Roman Gabriel. But it's there's not many, and the Bengals have 2 of them.
I think that's just that's a tone setter for the Bengals franchise, though.
Well, also that they just didn't have a Ring of Honor for 50 years, and and then they're having Esiason fly out on the wing and stay at the Radisson.
Having the Frontier Wild Pass where he's got to wait 22 hours before he can get a flight.
It's not how unbelievably cheap are you? My God, man! The Bengals, everybody, and now Burrow's out for 3+ months.
Yeah. So last thing here, the Chargers are signing Clelin Ferrell.
Good luck there.
Yeah, shout out, I guess, Clelin Ferrell for getting paid again, but okay. Yeah.
Clelin Ferrell, living the dream.
He is living the dream. He got paid a lot of money.
He got paid a lot of money. Here's a thought. Remember the Raiders took him
very early.
Dude. Good. That was when Mayock was there.
Yeah, Mayock was
not a good GM.
That's what I was going to say.
The best thing was when they took him. I remember because it was a stunning. You're like, what?
Yeah.
It was what are they doing? They took him in 2019, and I remember just thinking, that's aggressive. Okay. And then Mayock did one of the, all the GMs do after round 1, they do a little presser. And he was like, well, we know he's not going to be like a guy who probably gets like double-digit sacks and stuff, but like he's a good overall player. I was like, you took him 4th overall, man. You took him 4th overall. By the way, just as a note, like for anybody who was like, well, maybe there wasn't anybody that was like worth taking at that spot. Josh Allen went 3 picks later for Jacksonville. Josh Hines Allen. So could have taken Ed Oliver. Not that he's turned out to be great, but he's better than Cleveland Farrell.
Yeah.
Rashawn Gary went 12th. Brian Burns went 16th. Dexter Lawrence went 17th. Jeffrey Simmons went 19th. Montez Sweat 26th. So this is a loaded class of defensive pass rushers, and the Raiders were like, awesome, Cleveland Farrell.
I didn't realize it was 4th overall. I just looked it up. I didn't realize he was 4th.
Yeah. Also,
That's
that was the year the
insane.
Raiders had 3 first-round picks, because that was after the Mack trade, and they took Cleveland Farrell, Josh Jacobs, and Jonathan Abram.
Oh.
And then picked 40th and took Trayvon Mullen. Just a real casserole of nonsense.
What was that draft? Was that 2021? Was Mayock still the GM there when they just they took Alex Leatherwood in the 1st round, and everyone was like, what the fuck are they doing?
Yeah, they did.
Is that still Mayock?
I think he was gone. I'll double check it real fast.
Alex Leatherwood, by the way, not in the league anymore.
Well, what year? No, he's not. What year was it that Antonio Brown called Mayock a cracker?
That was still Mayock, by the way.
It was, yes. It would have been the last season, right?
Right. That was probably the last straw. They drafted Trevor Moehrig in the 2nd round, which was probably been a better 1st-round pick than their
Yes. Mayock in the 1st round took the 3 guys I just mentioned, and then also took Henry Ruggs, Damon Arnett, and Alex Leatherwood. I mean, it's not good. It's not good. Also, his Wikipedia page is hilarious.
Are the Raiders still paying him too?
I would think not at this point. I hope not.
Right.
My God. Also, like Mayock, like he was there for 3 years.
3 years, dude.
His Wikipedia page is hilarious. Like, there's actually part of this. Mayock was involved in a heated verbal exchange with Antonio Brown, during a practice session prior to the start of the 2019 NFL season, in which Brown insulted Mayock as a quote-unquote cracker. It's unbelievable. Yeah, I mean, that was his 1st year as a GM. Can you imagine, like, you showed up for the job, and that's what you walk into? Antonio Brown just, like, spray painting his helmet on the sideline and just screaming at you that you're a cracker.
Yeah.
Welcome to the NFL. Unbelievable. Yeah. So good time.
That's crazy. Mayock also claimed that he was fired because he wanted Rich Bisaccia as their head coach.
Which he honestly had a point.
I think he might have been onto something there. That might have been his only good choice as the Raiders GM. Yeah, I don't think he's still getting paid by them. That's unfortunate.
Gruden is, I believe, right? Gruden resigned technically. So.
Oh yeah, I think so.
And then they had like that whole thing in court. So
they did a settlement. I think they ended up doing a settlement, right?
Yeah.
I saw
Raiders. Good times. Good times.
Yeah, good times.
Real quality organization.
Phenomenal organization.
Tom Brady's up there, just like,
dude, that's insane. I know.
Hey, by the way, Chip, I was talking to the Bears the other day. They run duo a lot. That's good.
We're going to let him get away with this. You know, like the NFL's going to let him get away with it. The NFL's never punished Tom Brady ever. And Tom Brady, known rule follower, by the way, Tom Brady is going to follow all the rules the NFL laid out for him.
Can you imagine if he was like a 3% owner of the Chiefs doing this?
Oh, people lose their goddamn minds.
Oh my God.
A team that actually mattered.
That guy who used to be a backup quarterback for 3 seconds with the Packers, who's on Twitter.
Kurt.
Oh my God. He would be, there'd be a federal investigation going on right now. Okay. Him and that other Will Compton, who's famous for reasons I can't understand. Like,
they're an idiot. Yeah.
They'd go, oh my God, it's federal. But like the Raiders, nobody cares. They suck. But like, right, it's good times. It's good times.
It's crazy. All right, that's going to do it for this Friday edition of That Football Show. We'll be back after the Chiefs game, and we'll be breaking down week 2. And God, please, A Chiefs win.
Well, it breaks down week 3, but no matter how you slice it.
Yeah, whatever. We'll be breaking down week 3, I guess. Who cares? Time is a social construct and nothing matters. And we'll get more nihilist as the time goes on if the Chiefs lose to the Giants on Sunday.
Oh, the Chiefs lose to the Giants. Boys and girls, you're going to have one hell of a show on Monday.
That's going to be...
I mean, you're going to hear something. If they lose to that team with this much desperation on it, like that is... Yeah. Let's put it this way. There's a lot. We'll end the show the same way we started. There's a lot more wrong with the Chiefs than Rashee Rice if they lose to that team, knowing they have to win.
100%. That's going to do it. Thank you to our partners, Ben Holiday, Bottled and Bond Bourbon, Holiday Distillery. Thank you to those folks there. For Matt Verderame, I'm Tucker Franklin. We will be back after the Chiefs game on Monday for you guys to talk about all things Chiefs NFL. So until then, we'll see you on Monday.